Not a bad start. Shut up. Right, good morning everyone. It is Tuesday. Tuesday 22nd of August I think, 2023. And I'm down at a fishing lake just outside of Maidstone today. This is the best lake I've come across so far. It's only about 20-25 minutes from the house, and it's got a great stock of a lot of fish. I put my float rod out first thing when I got here, just with a bit of corn. Caught a fair sized roach, so I was quite pleased with. So I thought, oh, I'll turn the camera on, see what sort of day we're going to have, and then just had diddlers. But then the carp woke up by the looks of it. Only smaller ones. Probably averaging, or sorry, between £5 to £10. Somewhere along them lines. Not great, but there's quite a large stock in here of that size, I believe. So if you want to go somewhere like I do and catch plenty of fish, then for me this is a place to come. I haven't given the name of the venue because the people here have asked me not to. I mean, I'm midweek here at the moment, so there's only, but saying that only, midweek a lot of venues is empty. There's half a dozen cars in the car park. But yeah, I seem to be, for the most part, on my own here, I think. But yeah, I thought I'd have a chat with the camera. I ain't done it for a while. Bern's been moaning at me. Morning, Bern. But I was getting a bit fed up with going down the beach in the howling winds, horrible weather, rain, freezing cold, and catching no fish, or maybe one, or maybe two. And then I was even going with a guy called Nathan Weston, who's got his own YouTube channel, or the Ray Guru, or just lately it seems to be the Smooth Hand Guru. The excellent fisherman, knows exactly what he's doing, really good. But the last few times I went with Nathan, we had no luck at all. And unlike me, I take a fishing rod down to the water and fish. Nathan knows what he's doing in that. It's a southwesterly, northwesterly, this, that, the other. You don't fish this bit, you don't fish that bit. You go to this bit if you want to catch fish. And even with all Nathan's knowledge and so on, he couldn't even find a fish the last few times we went. And I lost heart and it's very disheartened. I bought a poggered me glue, which Bern has since fished and been using it himself, so glad to see that didn't go to waste. I'd have just chucked it starting to skip me. I knew Vern was handy with a bit of metal work. I'm alright when it comes to woodwork, but I'm not much cop when it comes to metal work. So I knew Vern would fix it easy enough, which he has done, he's been using it, so yeah, it's good to see that hasn't gone to waste. But I bought a new Bigaloo, which I've used once I think, maybe twice. What else have I got? I've got that big beach buggy, the Tronics Pro one with the great big wheels on it, all sitting in my garage, collecting cobwebs. So it's a shame really. I mean, obviously I've still got all my sea fishing gear. I won't get rid of any of it, because I'm sure, I mean, the other week I was very tempted to go down to Sandgate and do a bit of conger fishing. I was sorting some gear out and come across the hooks I use for conger fishing, and it was very nearly came close, but then I thought. But what done it for me really, I was just going through YouTube as you do, and I come across two young lads, Carl and Alex, doing a bit of float fishing, and they've got a channel on YouTube, fishing tutorials, and I was just watching them do a bit of float fishing, and I thought to myself, I actually really missed that. I've done it all before. I've done all carp fishing before, float fishing, I've done everything. But float fishing for me is just so relaxing. You're not on the beach with the winds. You're at a nice little lake somewhere. 9 times out of 10 it's very quiet apart from the ducks. Go, another one. Well, I certainly needed that bigger net. Oh, a huge one on them. definitely getting bigger. Ooh. See the water and went for a dive, that one. But you can't call that noise really, they can do quack all day, that's fine by me. It's nice and calm, it's like here now, although it is a glorious day today. I'm going to have to put some cream on my legs in a minute, else I'm going to burn. But it's flat calm, with very little ripple, there's no wind, there's barely a breeze to be honest. Just relaxing, I was playing with my float rod earlier, now I'm just playing with the cart rod on the top float, and it's just so relaxing, and you can pretty much catch as many fish as you want to, and we've got no rods out at the moment, but catching carp on a bit of bread on the top float is almost instant. You don't put it down, put it on a rest and leave it, because the bait's not in the water that long and you're into a fish. So to be able to have a little chat with you, I've unhooked that little common I've just had, and it's just sitting there ready for me to go again, but I thought I'd have a little chat. But yeah, as I say, I'd forgotten how much I really enjoyed the float fishing. Carp fishing for me is incredibly boring. I went with a friend of mine the other week, and he's got all the gear, really nice bloke, I've known him quite a while now. Got all 3 carp rods out, all good set up, he's got fantastic little set up rods, and I've got all the gear and all that, and he sat there and sat there and sat there. But God, he must be bored out of his tree. I tend to go up, I tend to put a carp rod out on the bottom. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm really getting into it. I'm using the zig rigs and Ronnie rigs and stiff bar rigs and solid bags. Another one today. So I thought I'd done a bit. Don't have to talking, so I throw the rod back out. Almost straight away we had that one. So I'm going to leave the talking for a bit and catch a few more fish. And I will turn you back on to show you what I caught. Oh, that was the other thing. Yeah, the battery went out and the camera itself is absolutely roasting red hot. But the first clip I done was well over an hour. Obviously I'll chop that, I don't want to bore you to death. So I did think I'll leave the camera off for a little while and cover it up in this weather. That'll be what happens, won't it? I'll catch the best fish I've ever caught and the camera will be too hot, won't turn on. So I'm going to turn you off, cover you up and let you cool down a bit. smaller one there, but a little bit lively, that one. But yeah, we're catching. I don't know, clue what the time is. Must still be early. And I've already had too many fish to count. Carp, that is, not even little ones. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put one out on the bottom to give me a chance to get my kettle out and make a cup of tea, I think. And get me sunshine goggles out. That sun is getting very bright at the moment. So I'll catch up with you in a bit. Still coming. As you can see, very basic setup today. I've had my float rod out and my carp rod out, but I'm only using one at a time. The clouds keep hiding the sun. Saying that, sorry. The clouds keep hiding the sun, but that's not a bad thing. Bit like what they call them mackerel clouds, I think. Scaly clouds across the sky. But I've had plenty of fish. Haven't really stopped much. I still haven't managed to get the kettle out yet. It's always that you see that bigger one come past, you think, oh, I'll make up to in a minute. And at the moment, I'm just not getting there. I brought my shelter with me, or bivvy should I say, just in case, but I don't think I'm going to need it. And although it's not as quick and easy as Igloo, it's still reasonably easy to put it up. It don't take a couple of minutes. So I've got a hook in the water with nothing on it. And I was going to say, would you believe the fish just took it, but no, maybe not. Yeah, I only really bought the shelter to get out of the sun if it was that bad, and to set my kettle and burner up where there was no wind. But it's so little wind, there's not enough sun to worry about the shelter, and there's so little wind, I don't think there's... Oh really? Oh, well, it's doing it again. Yeah, that's a cheap way of fishing. I'm catching fish with no bait here. Really? Hold on, move you out of the way for a minute. There we go. No stopping. A bit of a deformed mouth this one. We'll get him back. Poor little man. Looks not in the water this time. Yeah, I stopped talking earlier on because battery died, and then I might have already mentioned that when I went to change it, it was flat. And here comes the bailiff, so I'm going to turn you off for a minute. I will get finished boring you to death in a minute. I don't even know where I am. Apologies if... Oh, hold on. Hold on, my glasses were up there. And, damage them, they're prescription glasses. I can see. But yeah, I don't even know where I was. Yeah, I started freshwater fishing to catch a bit more fish and be a bit more relaxing. Amy's got bored with the beach and she liked the idea of coming to a lake. So I've brought Amy a few times. She didn't want to come today. I got this week off, so we went swimming yesterday, which was great. But we're having a day in London tomorrow, I think, all being well. So yeah, it's probably going to be the only day I get to go fishing this week. Bank holiday weekend, and he just told me this lake is pretty much booked for the whole of the weekend. They do a lot of match fishing down here, and they've got a specimen lake just across the way there. That's all booked up all weekend, I think. Well, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of other places I can go, but I do like it here. This is my preferred. And you're not a million miles away from the car. When I went with my mate the other week, my God, felt like I had to walk 2 miles to get to the swim. Yeah, God, knackering. And I've been nursing a bad back for a little while, and that didn't help. And I'm literally, because of my back, I've chosen to stay fairly close to the car park. And I would have to say I am probably probably 250 yards away from the car. So I still got my barrow, but obviously didn't have to wheel it too far. But yeah, so I bought some bits and bobs with me, got the shelter with me, but there's just no wind at all, none. So I don't think I'll bother with that. I've got some trees next to me, so I'll set it up over there to make a cup of tea, which I haven't yet managed to make. But I'm not going to moan because I've caught a hell of a lot of fish, tons of fish. And, not big ones, but had a couple reasonable, but the others have been probably 4 or 5 pounds. Just had a couple of nice mirrors, which you don't see a lot of them in here at the moment. Seem to be mainly commons. But yeah, so it's nice and relaxing, not caring the world at the moment. Had a bit of a rough time though. My dad, who was 80, had a few issues which meant he needed an operation, and unfortunately he never recovered after the operation. I mean, we was lucky in the fact that he had a problem and then went very soon after. I know there's a lot of people out there, and some that I know, that have been ill for a very long time and suffered for a very long time. And it's dreadful to see people wasting away. But yeah, at least we're thankful for that. It wasn't anything, he didn't have any illnesses or anything that meant that he spent months of suffering like people do. But yeah, it's very sad. Hit me a lot harder than I ever thought it would. So for the last, where are we? Probably for the last 5 or 6 weeks, everything's been about my dad. He had his send off last Friday, which had a fantastic, what the man was like. There was well over 100 people there, and no one's ever had a bad word to say about him, certainly not to me. And he was my hero. And always has been. So yeah, it's been very difficult. There's not been a huge amount of fishing done at all. I did go a few weeks ago to get away from it all for the day, but that just turned out to be a wrong move, because all I did was think about it all day. And I wasn't here, I was somewhere else, and the other people on the lake must have been thinking, I know no one seems to be catching, but that fellow over there is taking it really bad, he's crying. So yeah, that wasn't a good day. But I'm going to try and get back to some normality. I haven't done a lot of filming, purely because I wanted to relearn what I'd forgotten many years ago. What I need to do is in respect to carp fishing, and the sort of rigs and equipment and everything they've got now. A lot of it they didn't have when I used to go carp fishing before, and I didn't want to make myself look too stupid, but I've watched a lot of YouTube. There's a channel on there Fishing with Carl, I think it's called, and there's another one, just Alex. We're two brothers, Carl and Alex. Not only take on their fishing journeys with them when they go all over, they've been all over Europe, and they go to America carp fishing, and the quality of their videos is second to none. They are fantastic, and not only do they show you what they're fishing and the immense fish they catch, but they have a, trying to say again, tutorials channel as well that shows you how to make rigs, how to tie them up, and I've been watching a load of them and sort of re-taught myself what I need to know. I've got some carp rods and carp reels. I was very pleased with the Sonic stuff I had for the beach. My Sonic 10,000s I thought were fantastic. So I've stuck with those. I've got some Sonic rods, and the carp reels I've got are the Sonic 600 RS's, and the carp rods I've got are Sonic 10 footers, but obviously being a beach caster, not a particularly good one, but this 10-foot Sonic rod is immense. I mean, this lake I'm on is quite a big lake, and last time I was here I did have a go. I just put ounce and a half lead on, see how far it'd go, and I was amazed. It probably went 50 yards further than I was expecting it would. These rods and reels are absolutely amazing, and they're not break the bank either. I think I've got two of the Sonic rods for about 90 quid, and two of the reels, and I can't remember how much they were. There was a little bit more, but I don't think that was quite £100. I'm not sure. But I'm happy with the setup I've got. So I've got my shelter now. I didn't bother to start with. The very first time I came float fishing, I had my little 8-foot bass spinning rod, a little bait caster, and I was float fishing with that. But all I had to buy was obviously tiny little hooks, which does me in, because obviously the hooks we use at the beach are like this, size 4s and 8s and whatever you like. These are tiny little things, and I was struggling to tie them up, to be fair, where everything is so small compared to your beach fishing or sea fishing. But I bought some ready tied rigs, which was easier, but then there was a few things happened. I wanted to fish a bigger bait at a different lake, but the hair rigs on the ready tied rigs weren't long enough, the hairs weren't long enough, and a few other bits and bobs, and I had some bigger hooks when I wanted smaller ones. But it's all, you tie this on, tie that on, it's all done with a knotless knot, where one of them is, and wrap it around, do all this. But over the past few weeks and whatever, I've taught myself how to do all that. But rather than buy the rigs, I've made myself some rigs, and I'm quite happy with how they come out. And I'm thinking, right, I was on a bigger lake last time around, so the setup I had a fair size hook on it. I was struggling this morning. I was losing all the bait but not catching any fish, so filled it in, took that off, hook off, put a much smaller one on, and then ever since I've not stopped catching fish. So although Vern did say to me, why don't you film it all and just let everyone else watch you learn as you go along, which I could have done, but I'd have been very frustrated not catching much, and obviously made a few mistakes, didn't have the landing net out, didn't have the unhooking mat out. There's a process you have to follow if you're carp fishing, or you should follow. Everyone does their own thing. For me, it's about getting the net ready and getting the unhooking mat ready, just in case, like I did this morning. First rod I put out, the minute the float hit the water, was the fish on here. So if I hadn't have had my net ready, right, I didn't need the unhooking mat for that fish, it was only a roach, but if I hadn't have had it all ready, I'd have been in trouble. So I didn't want to embarrass myself by people commenting, oh, you ain't got done this right, you ain't done that right, this, that, or the other. So I wanted to wait until I'd have a bit more experience and learnt a bit more. And then I'll move forward from there. I think I'm ready. I've just been putting mash-ups of various fish I've been catching together last week. But I will try and go back to doing proper videos. And for the subscribers I've got that are not interested in freshwater fishing, I do apologise. So I've still got my sea fishing gear, so I do plan to go sea fishing again. I'm not going to knock it on you completely, but at this moment in time, with all what's been going on, and until I'm completely settled, I think I'll stick with the freshwater fishing for now. But again, thanks to all the regulars, everyone that's commented, Paul and Kingster, Wayne, and Vern as always. I've neglected the sea fishing a little bit. I'm about 4 videos behind on Vern at the moment, sorry Vern. But that always was my Wednesday night film, Vern. He was on longer on the film most of the time. But because of what happened with my dad, not being there, being at the hospital, and afterwards being really busy, and I've just got quite a bit behind, so I need to catch up with Vern. So I will do that over the next couple of weeks. I'll catch up with Vern's videos, and yeah, I think what I'll do, I've still got my old GoPro 4 camera. I can't, because I've had to spend a bit of money on carp fishing gear, rods, reels and nets and all sorts of things. I can't really justify at the moment spending a couple of £100 on a back or a newer camera. So this one's going to have to do me for a while. I've got a lightweight tripod that I did have a big light on. I'll swap that round, I'll put a camera on it. The lights and all that are indoors in a storage box for when I need them again. I'm trying to, especially at the moment with the dodgy back, I'm trying to travel light as it were, so although you wouldn't think it with the amount of stuff I've got with me. But my other tripod, which is great and is brilliant for the beach, is very heavy, it weighed down a lot, but it's very heavy to keep lugging it around, so I've gone for my lightweight option on this one, which is a good one. It's probably, I could probably go to about 6-7 foot with it, and obviously I'm only 4 foot nothing, so. But what I did earlier was just sat you behind me there so you could watch me do a bit of float fishing, catch some tiddlers. But that was on for well over an hour, so I'll edit that down a hell of a lot. So I'm going to leave it there for now. If I'll tell you something you might be able to help me with as well. I had obviously it was Danny Shore Fishing, the name of the channel, and I knew I'd have to change it. I didn't want to change it to Danny's Freshwater Fishing, and I didn't want Danny's Fishing Adventures, because that wording's been done to death by a million people. So I could do with a new name for the channel. For the moment it's just Danny's Fishing. But I was annoyed with myself because I was in the car and all of a sudden it popped in my head, I could call it Danny's da 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 da. I thought, yeah, I'll have to remember that and change that when I get in. And when I got in, could I remember what I'd thought about? No. So at the moment it's Danny's Fishing. If you've got any ideas, chuck it in the comments and I'll have a look. You don't need Little Fat Man's Fishing or Baldy Old Gits Fishing or Burns Brother Does It Again. But if you've got any sensible suggestions or even funny ones, chuck it all in the comments and I'll have a look. But yeah, I was a bit annoyed because I did think of something and I thought, oh, that's perfect, and then I forgot what it was. So the name of the channel will change again soon, I would imagine. And yeah, so I'm going to leave it there for now. And I am definitely going to make a cup of tea before I do anything else. I'm starting to get a bit dry. So I'm going to ignore the fishing. I've had a ton of fish so far. So I'm really happy with the fishing. Happy enough that I can leave it for half hour. I'm going to get my kettle set up, make a nice cup of tea. And yeah, just relax for a little while. Have the faintest idea what the time is. 12:15. Past 12, so it's not too bad. I've got here about 8ish, I think. So yeah, just in a few hours I've had a ton of silverfish and a ton of carp, so it's got to be a cup of tea before I do anything else. So once I've had my tea and back fishing, I will come back to you. I might set, I think I will actually, I'm going to set up my, at the moment I'm just using my table for the butt end. And I've got a reaper rest at the front for the front end because I've been doing a lot of top float fishing and what have you. But I'm going to set up my bars and put my alarms on. And I'm going to put one out in the deeper water. I've got some solid bags made up. I'm going to chuck one of them out because there are 20 pluses in here. And I'm almost sure I hooked one a few weeks ago because what I was buying was quite hefty fish, but it did lose me in the reeds. So I know they're in here, and Joe tells me that they're in here. So I'm going to put one of them out while I'm making my tea. See if we can't winkle out a bigger one. So I will catch up with you wonderful people in a little while. Well, I've got my solid bag rig out, set my other rod up. And I thought, right, I'll leave that and make a cup of tea. And yeah, went off straight away. Yeah, now this one, nice little one. Yeah, and that's this little one. We'll get him back. Oh, back. Yeah, so still not having tea. But I'm not going to put this one back. I'm going to make a cup of tea and not touch the fishing rod. I was quite pleased with that one though, because that was on one of the rigs I made up myself. Just an inline lead in a solid bag with a bit of putty to weigh it down with, and the Snowman little oily with a pop up on top. I'm quite chuffed because that seemed to work pretty well. So it's not going back out till I've had a cup of tea. So again, tea time. Feisty one this one, so I think I'll just give him back. Yeah, you don't want to calm down. I'll just give this one back. I've had a bit of a rest. I've had one out on the bottom for a little while. Which apart from initially when it went out with a solid bag, went off straight away. So I've not had a great deal on it since. Which gave me a chance to have a nice cup of tea and something to eat. I'll now put that rod to bed. I've got the float rod out again, or the carp rod with the top float on it. Just chucking out the last of my bread and back to catching again. It's nice to have a bit of a rest and a relax and a nice cup of tea. Got my little tea shelter set up in the shade. Amy's chair that was in the car up until literally bedtime last night. She was going to come today but changed her mind at the last minute. But yeah, so holiday too, so I'd rather she was at home doing something she wants to do rather than come here just because she feels she has to. So yeah, I'm gonna switch her off for a minute and try and get some more. I'll have a nice one again. Get him back before he jumps about again. And another. Don't muck about, they see that water and they want to be gone. Well, that's me pretty much done for the day. I'm mostly packed away. I've just got the nets to put away. I've got my mat hanging up, drip drying at the moment. The sun's gone down. Well, not down just yet, but it's behind the clouds. And I don't think that's going to be coming out again for me to dry anything off. So I'm going to make another brew and give it half hour for the mat to dry off a little bit before I put it in the car. I've had a fantastic day, caught as many fish as I've wanted to basically. We had a slow point where I had some bottom baits on to give me a chance to have a cup of tea and something to eat, and the minute I was sorted I brought that back in. Got my little, got my other carp rod out with a floating, with a top float on it with some more bread, and caught a load more fish. I haven't filmed them all because there's just too many. A lot of the smaller ones I didn't bother to turn the camera on. I think I turned the camera on for the bigger ones, but I didn't waste my time with the smaller ones. But according to my camera, I've done over 2 hours worth of footage, which is unheard of for me. And but again, it shows, just goes to show, Vern, you need to be thanking Tom. I know you do, but the amount of editing I've got to do just to make probably an half-hour video, it's going to be obscene, because I've obviously got to watch all the footage again and do a bit of editing, cut out any of the boring stuff. And before you say it, I'm not going to cut all of it out. Might be interesting to somebody, but I'm going to try and get back into making videos properly again. Now I've got half a clue of what I'm talking about. And I'll show you the rigs that I use, the bait I'm using. At the moment I'm switching every time I buy a pack of boilers. I'm choosing a different flavour and seeing what works best. At the moment I've got to say the cheese and garlic boilies seem to produce more than the others that I've tried. And pop-up wise, I've had mainly the bigger fish on the Tutti Frutti pop-ups, which are, my ones are 15 mil I think. But I've got smaller ones, banana and pineapple, they seem to do the trick in this lake, albeit there's a lot smaller fish here. But yes, as I say, I'll get back to trying to make some half decent videos if I can. Done the day session today, but as often as I can do that, upsetting the missus and Amy too much, I do, as always, prefer to fish through the night. But obviously this is a bit more comfortable because the shelter's designed to fit your bed, and my car bed's more comfortable than the bed I sleep in home. As long as you've got your alarms turned up loud enough, they wake me up when they need to. And if you don't get any bites for the night, you just get a good night's sleep. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm going to finish making my tea. Oh, with my milk. Oh, when I made my first tea, did I have that horrible feeling I'd forgotten the milk. I opened my cool bag and there it was. Oh, what a nightmare that would have been. Oh, I haven't even got any coffee with me, just in case. I should do really, I should put, because the coffee I use don't need milk. It's a Nescafe 3-in-1 thing, which is alright, it's nice enough, but you can't whack a nice cup of tea. But yeah, when I first thought I'd forgotten the milk, oh my god, that'd be worse than forgetting a fishing rod. But no, sure enough, we had some milk, so all good. So we've had some nice fish, we've had plenty of tea. We've put our feet up, been relaxing. Missus has been texting me, Amy's been texting me. One of my boys, Steve, has been texting me, wants to come fishing. He heavily into carp fishing. He's had some tremendous fish. He caught one a little while ago, 40 odd pound. But he's going to take me out somewhere. No doubt I'll be giving him a lift, but he's going to take me out. And we'll have a date together. I'm looking forward to that. He's such a lovely boy, he really is. I'm just gutted my other boy's not interested. There's nothing I would like more than to be sat on the bank relaxing with the two boys. But yes, we'll do that soon. As I say, I'll try and keep up with the videos. The other lake that I have been fishing at is very small. People on the other side of the lake, if they're talking to each other, you can hear what they're saying. It's a little bit embarrassing, me sitting there talking to myself like a lunatic. But on this one, the lake's quite big. So even the people in the next swim along wouldn't hear what you were saying. So while I come here, I can rattle on like an idiot and no one pays you any attention. Oh, the kettle's boiling. That was quick, Jesus. Yes, I know boiling water's hot, but that was very hot. Oh yeah, that's something else I'll have to do now, isn't it? Waiting for my mat to dry off. Now I'm going to have to wait for the cooker to cool down as well. But there you go, it's not late. I don't even think it's 4 o'clock yet. It's around about 4ish, I think. So I don't mind sitting here for an hour or so. Lovely place to be, it really is a beautiful place. I've been to some right skanky horrible places, but the people here do a fantastic job. Behind me there's plush grass, not mud and crap like in a lot of places. Beautifully cut short grass and enough room to put what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 5 bivvies here if you wanted to. That's another thing, Amy, because she really likes my bivvy shelter, she now wants me to buy her a shelter and her own bed. So if she's got her own bivvy and her own bed, because she's not a child anymore, she keeps telling me, she would come with me all the time then apparently. So if I can get a good deal on a bivvy like I did with the one that I bought, I wouldn't buy a second hand one. I'm not being snobby or anything, but your bivvy's your house. So I don't want, and usually if someone's got a bivvy themselves, there might be a little tear in it, a little whip in it or something missing, the pole broke or something. But I should buy probably the same ones I bought myself. I've got the Sonic SK something, is it? Yeah, SK Tech I think that says. I'll take the glasses off. Just one man bivvy, but even with my bed, and I've got I don't know what they call them now, fat boy bed, a big one, understandably. But even with that, there's loads of room in there. So I might buy Amy one of those for about 150 quid-ish. And I haven't looked yet, but I'm hoping they do smaller beds than the one I've got. I'm pretty sure they do. And so yeah, I'll just get me a small bed and her own bivvy. I mean, we could set both up here. As I say, there's room for 5 here, I reckon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just around this room alone. So yeah, set my bivvy up and Amy's bivvy, put the beds in. We can have a good night out. I did take her a little while ago, and she took a little pop-up tent, but air mattress, pump it up before she goes to bed. And although there's no signs of anything wrong with it, it does tend to be flat come the morning. So she don't want to use that anymore, she wants her own. And I can't blame her for that. So yeah, I need to sort that out for Amy. And